WesWes Show.
Let's get into it, bro. Yeah. Let's go have a talk through each of the games, what kind of stood out. So the first game for the round last week on Thursday, Panthers versus the Rabbits. That was built up to be a big one. Um, yeah, what were your thoughts on that one? Awesome win there from the Panthers, 16.
Bro, that was a high quality game, man. That was quite dramas as well, eh? Not only on the field but off the field afterwards. But man, I kind of
Yeah,
I was going for the Rabbitohs on this one. I got that pick wrong, and I honestly thought that the Panthers, after the previous 2 weeks where they were little bit flat and not the usual quality, with the club challenge final and the Broncos game. Man, and I shouldn't have done it. I should have went against them, but man, they came back the usual firepower Panthers got, which just goes to show why they won the last two comps, bro. Just the defense was back
yeah,
to where it was. On offense, probably not the same. Big, still showing big difference without Katoisau and the big fella there on the edges. But man, they really brought it back against a quality team because the Bunnies were on fire the first round. So it was the match was a high quality match, and Panthers just too strong, especially on DA. They kind of strangled
yeah.
the Bunnies' spine.
Yeah, that was one thing, like I think just Ilias there in the middle, I don't know what happened in that game, but yeah, I think that's where you saw the biggest losses was just finishing out those sets. Just some of his kicks out on the full. I think he had a couple out on the full. Just really put them under a lot of pressure, especially off the back of that first week. I did go Panthers. I guess it's quality team. You kind of know they're always going to bounce back, so it was good to see them, back to their usual. Interesting, the little injury there that happened to Cleary. I don't know if he's been named. I think they've got the bye this week, so it's probably good timing for them to rest some of those guys as well. Cool. Game 2 of the round, Eels and Sharks. Sharks getting away with that one, 30-26.
Bro, that was another. That was a quality game, man. Like probably not the same level of at the previous game, but just the finish, the tight finish, and Sharks, especially without Nico Hines there, I think they did really well. Over the Eels, man, the Eels are hard. That it's pretty tough on the Eels because they started the season with two of the top teams from last year. Eels and the was it the
Yeah,
Bunnies they lost in the first round? So it's hard to get a gauge on the Eels, but man, the Sharks with Trindle, man, he's sick game, eh? That was high quality game, bro.
yeah, he's actually quite
What are you saying,
Trindle. Yeah, just replacing Nico there. So he's been quite solid there, eh? So
bro? He's had a
it's going to
mean.
be interesting. Like Hines slots straight back in, but
Yeah,
yeah, he's done a good job.
yeah. So they're probably not as organised, but with Trindle, man, he can spark the attack, and no, that was a good comeback from the Sharks. After losing the first game, man, tough on the Eels now, like 0-2, and they were they're right up there in terms of the comp, but it just goes to show it doesn't take much if you're off your game for you know to lose, man. Like
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, they was such a close game. Mitchell Moses, doing quite a lot of good work there. Um, Dylan Brown, I don't know, he had a few missteps in that game. So I don't know if he's carrying an injury or maybe just a bit of confidence
yeah,
there.
bro, yeah, I wasn't really taking the line
Coming
on,
over from the World Cup.
wasn't taking the line on as much as he should be, eh? But Papa Lee was a
Yeah,
big. That's been a big out for
just a
them
bit of a beat there.
on that side of the on their edge. Eh? And it's funny because they're missing Papali'i, but man, we'll talk about it later. But Papali'i for the Tigers had a
Hopkins
shocker.
been awesome.
He's had a last 2 games. But yeah, bro, it's hard to get a gauge on the Eels because they were in it with the first 2 games, eh, bro. So like I said, it's hard to get a gauge on the
Yeah, and
whole.
hard competition, like you're saying, like Melbourne first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. It was a storm. It was the storm.
Mm-hmm. All right. I'd say this one probably game of the round for you, more importantly. But yeah, I think it was a standout for this week. Broncos, North Queensland Derby.
Oh, bro, especially that first half, eh,
Yeah,
man.
you wrapped this one, right?
That first half was, man. That was probably the more impressive because Cowboys, especially in the first round, were awesome, and they just started where they finished off last year, just that really high intensity first half. And I think with the Bronx were quite lucky with that Sinbin because man, they scored a couple of tries while Drinkwater was off.
Yeah, yeah.
Rightly so, bro. That was bad. The bro Oates there cracked his jaw, and that was the shoulder to the jaw. So that was fair enough. At the time, I thought, oh man, that's should be a penalty try and maybe a sent off.
Yeah, it didn't look like much at yeah from first. Yeah, because he kind of went flying past anyway and made no real impact.
Yeah,
But
because I thought he was in
yeah,
this,
broken jaw.
in the process of scoring, and if he hadn't get hit in the jaw, he would have scored that. But more importantly for the Bronx, bro, like man, their defense is sicky this year. I know it's only round two, but even in the first week, Panthers had a lot of ball, a lot of repeat sets, and so that's two games in a row. They've held teams up to 12 and under. So and that's the big difference with the Broncos, bro. Like they got the attack to score tries. They've got a few. They got a bit of firepower out wide. They can score on any team. It's just whether they can be consistent and whether the defense can hold all year. So like I said, the game was a bit blown out because of those 2 tries they scored while they're off. But I think they deserved the win in the end. And bro, how well did old Walsh go, man? Reese Walsh. It's like that
Oh man.
icing on the cake.
Yeah, I was saying to Cam earlier, like yeah. Oh, just awesome to see his movement. Like I think we saw glimpses of that last year. But I was saying, like what made the difference, I think, is it's just those combinations. Farnworth's been awesome for Broncos last couple of
Mm.
seasons, and I think that's what Walsh was missing last year. Is he'll skip out or he'll make that break, but I think the Warriors are expecting him to be like a two of us and run a whole 50 meters by himself. Whereas it's just his little touches just within like 10 meters of space,
Yeah.
and being able to get the players around him. If they're in motion. And that's what you saw with Farnworth. Of the other players pushing up around him, Ezra Mam, that's what made the difference. So yeah, I think it's going to be exciting seeing him. Yeah, I mean, as much as I can't stand the Broncos, I'm glad for Reese. He's kind of where he should have been anyway. It's kind of
Yeah,
he
man.
looks like he's
And
at
that's
home now. Just seeing his confidence.
and the Broncos are so lucky to have him want to come back because if you recall, like 2 years 3 years ago, man, he was still on the books, and Kevin Waters let him go. He let him go. He thought that he was a bit too early for him to. And then his first year at the Warriors, he kind of proved him wrong, and just kind of showed that the Warriors, man, probably on offense, like one of the best players going around. That speed, man, you can't teach speed. But luckily for the Broncos, he wants to come home, and man, like I said, he's that cherry on top for the Broncos attack, man.
Mm, yeah, it's going to be exciting to see this year. Cool. Um, Next game, the Roosters taking out the Warriors 20-12. Um, yeah, hard game to watch. End of that first half, just the Warriors' defense. I mean, that was something good to see. Andrew Webster coming in. He's an attacking coach, and you can see some of the form coming together with their attack. But just seeing some of that steal at the end of the first half, gave me confidence. And what, like you were saying, off the back of that defense, you can kind of build some real attacking prowess. But yeah, I think they still need to work on that attack.
Yeah, bro. Well, I think there's a noticeable difference in the Warriors. Like I said before, it's only round two, and you kind of really get a gauge on the teams after a month. Just see if they can be consistent enough. But they definitely look a lot more steadier. They had their chances against the Roosters, man. That we were talking about before we got on. Man, they had plenty of ball in their last 10 minutes to ice the game, and what was it, 20-12? Yeah, and so some wasted opportunities.
Yeah, yeah.
Some couple of basic errors, but I don't know, bro. I don't, not to be sad, but I don't expect too much for them. I didn't have them making my eight, so this is where. But you know what? Like, I don't know. Maybe last year they would have got smashed in this game. So there's a noticeable difference. They're a
Mm.
bit more starch in the defense, and they, like I said, they definitely put themselves in the position to win the game. So yeah, bro. The Roosters, they were the Warriors will be kicking themselves because the Roosters, they weren't. That's not the best Roosters. The Roosters have been really the first two rounds been disappointing, man.
Yeah,
So on paper they look mean, but like,
yeah, and down on troops. I mean, yeah,
yeah, bro, missing a lot of their star players. So that was
they still got some enforcement.
Warriors will rue that fact that the 2 points, man. That was there for the taking, but I'm not really surprised with the history of the Warriors' performances. But hey, man, it's only round three. Hey, were you still holding
All right.
the remote, or did you
Oh man, the season.
did you catch your channel?
Talking about some such and great things to see in the season. The Dolphins taking out Canberra 2014.
Man, that was one of the games of the round, man. Just the way it finished it. It was toe to toe until the last 5-10 minutes, man. Brian, they've probably been the
Yeah.
impressive team, eh? The first two rounds for me, the Dolphins. They went against,
Oh,
the
especially for
Roosters weren't
a
at
new
their best,
team.
but
That's not what you do.
man, that Raiders, and they're not.
Yeah, when you come in as a new franchise.
Yeah, bro, exactly.
Yeah.
And you look at their roster, bro. They've got like solid players, bro. Some good experience. Probably don't have as many. Probably no superstars, to that if you're gonna label players some superstars, they're not at that level. But man, like some consistent quality players who are well experienced, and some good young ones. Man, Katoa was mean. He was really good on the weekend. So yeah, bro, I was impressed with the Dolphins, man, and the Raiders, man. They made some crucial errors, man. The Raiders, that last 5-10 minutes. I think the Raiders and even the Dolphins, like and we're talking about the Warriors. They'll be in that pack where like anything from 6 to 12 will be fighting for top eight. Well, in my opinion, anyway. But Dolphins have proved me wrong already, man, winning their first two games. So who's to know, eh, bro? It's a pretty.
Especially against an outfit like Canberra.
Mm, you look at their team, bro.
You kind of came up against the Roosters the first week, and the Roosters are kind of slow starters, but they're quite expensive, whereas Raiders was kind of different competition for the Dolphins being a real kind of solid team, just real strict in their defense,
Yeah,
nothing flashy. So yeah, for the Dolphins to be able to break down a team like Canberra just shows what they're made of. Not just able to score some expensive tries, but they're able to do the hard work. And you look at that Forge roster, you kind of see what Bennett was building there too.
yeah,
A
bro.
lot of old heads, but real good technique and defense, and just solid around the park.
Hard out. Like no one was really giving them a chance, eh? But I mean, like you're saying, man, there's a solid lineup, and then with Wayne Bennett teams, man, that's like they always want a high completion rate, all the basics right, eh? High completion rate and good on D. And so, man, you can't count them out, man. They probably like if you want to put some money on them, make the eight the way they go.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, some of these, yeah, and just these names, like I guess you watch the game enough, you kind of recognize a lot of these names, especially the older names.
Solid. How about Kafusi, man?
Under Wayne, man. Oh,
See the
the
hits he's been
Hitman.
putting on,
This guy just reinvented himself.
bro, and solid
Real
like
consistent, awesome hit. Nothing high.
solid old school hits, eh? Like not like big high chest shots, but just driving the shoulder like in the breadbasket, man. That was good to see, man.
And just a solid first up hit.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's been a feature. Just seeing that the defense back in the game is amazing.
bro, he's put people on notice, man.
Yeah,
Like halves and
that's
any of those ball playing
yeah,
forwards, take it to the line, close to the line. He's gonna smash people, man.
yeah, yeah. Especially when they're trying to travel sideways if they're not looking. Yeah, yeah, that's one to watch. Cool. Um, Storm, Melbourne Storm and Canterbury Bulldogs taking that game 26-12. I went Storm for that.
Oh, bro, what are you, man?
Canterbury turned up.
Hey, like that's the upset of the round, man. Like I don't know, like even your hardcore doggy supporters, they'll likely go for a win, but deep down, it was tough to pick. Bro, I found myself watching the whole game, man. Like, man, especially coming to the six, because at halftime I was like, man, I think it was 16-0. I was like, man, surely can't keep this up. And then they were first to score. I think they went out to like a 22-0. And
Yeah,
then
they never looked back.
I felt myself just cheering them on, bro. Just for the also his team, and then just the way they were playing,
Yeah,
they were throwing it around like like 2002 Warriors styles.
yeah, I think that was good to see. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man. Still,
Oh, just some of the movement of the ball too.
yeah,
Just through the hands. It was, yeah.
hard out and like
Yeah, some names that like kind of stood up unknown. That Alamotti, that centre, he stood out.
yeah,
He was.
bro.
I hadn't really noticed him before that game.
Their fullback he was solid, man. He looks like it's just a different body shape, but his runs like just bringing the ball up was solid. And I think the doggies they're the same. Like they didn't have like star power, but if they can play like that, man, move the ball around because everyone attacks almost the same males, and they're throwing something at the storm and that's how you break down the storm, bro. There you got to give them something different. They're such a strong team
Yeah,
on
yeah,
defense.
it's just really different. Yeah, yeah.
Bro.
And I think if they can pull it together, you saw some glimpses in the preseason challenge, but also, with that, they've got Marnie there, Reed Marnie,
Yeah,
and they've got Matt Bird. So the roster isn't too bad. Kikau in there and then Ado Carr.
well those
So I think
two,
with the combinations, it was nice to see Matt Burden after his misfire last year
yeah.
because in the
Well, that's what I
season,
mean. Those two are
the
probably
first game of the season, he was wow.
they're important to the doggies, man. Marnie and Burden. And like, man, to be honest, and I don't want this any players, man, but that halfback's weak. Like he's kind of almost just
Flanagan,
Flanagan's just almost like a catch and pass type, like, but even on the kicking, they rely a lot on Burden. He's got the boot, man. He's got deadly boot, and Marnie's added a lot. So, bro, they can only just improve, man. Especially with Kiko, and he didn't get the ball much,
yeah,
bro,
and that's the thing.
on the weekend.
Nah, yeah, so I don't know what their plan is, how they're gonna use him, because yeah, they kind of when he did get the ball, it was kind of not,
He was
not as
meaner
much
on
in spaces where
defense.
he can really run onto it.
Yeah, he showed his
Yeah,
ways on D.
yeah, I was glad. Yeah, 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 it was good reads there in the middle from him. So that was yeah, especially coming up against the
It,
Melbourne attacks.
it's hard to pick as a
Yeah, he
one-off
was
game, but what do you
tough.
reckon? You give them for the eight doggies?
The Dogs, nah,
They
nah,
weren't
I
in your
think
eight,
they'll go
yeah.
for 8. They're looking solid, but yeah, I think like just with that Flanagan combination, like you're saying, he does go missing. Like I think he. if he can kind of work out his combination where he sits in that team. Just feel like he's one of those guys. If he just keeps going through the motions, he'll be a bit of a like Josh
Yeah,
Reynolds, kind of just be part of the Bulldogs outfit, but never really fired.
yeah.
Cool.
What about the Storm, bro? Like, you know what I was looking at? Old Asafa Solomon Nelson, he's going to be out for a few weeks, they reckon. So,
Yeah,
him and
yeah, yeah.
Munster,
That's
man,
kind
it'll
of
be interesting just testing their depth, eh? Those are two big outs.
yeah.
And so,
Especially to well, I guess that's that structured kind of play that you'd expect from the Storm. I guess they can always redo that. The way Melbourne come together, but yeah, I think it's defensively. If you have teams like Canterbury, yeah, just really throwing the ball around,
yeah.
I think it's really hard for those, that structured kind of
Well,
Melbourne
what
play
the doggies did good
to adjust without guys like
was they kept their hooker really quiet, eh? Storm hooker, he's dangerous, eh? The Queen
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Harry Grant, he
Grant,
had a
bro.
real quiet game. Yeah, he didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah, he had a few touches, but they weren't the best. So yeah, that's a good point. Like how they really shut him down. Because
yeah,
yeah, I think it's around that. It's just Hughes and yeah, very much Harry Grant. And so Harry Grant's doing a lot of work there. Hughes had a few touches, but yeah, I think you're missing a lot without Pappenhausen and now
yeah,
Munster.
big time, bro. There's a lot of outs.
Yeah,
So
I think
I picked them. I didn't
he'll
pick
see
them
how
to
they
get.
go the next few
I
weeks.
didn't pick them to make the four, but definitely the eight. But I don't know. They're just not as strong as last year's team. Me, the Storm.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. Bit of that hangover from losing so many players. I think it's finally taking a toll. Um, our games for Sunday: West Tigers and Newcastle. Close game. I picked Newcastle for that one, and oh no, actually I went Tigers. Newcastle getting over the line 14-12. That was a real hard, messy game. Um, Man, and yeah, Knights were right down on chips by the end of that game.
Yeah, man, that was a good win
That
from the
was
Knights.
injury Sunday for them.
Yeah, especially at Leichhardt.
Yeah, especially being down with all those players.
Yeah,
Yeah. What are your thoughts on Kalen? That's quite a few head knocks now.
on Ponga.
You
Oh
think they
man.
might be looking to yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think he had a few last year. But I know they. I think.
So they said last year you had
Oh, really?
five last year.
Five?
Yeah, five last year, and now he's already had two for the season. Yeah, yeah. So five throughout the year last year.
Oh well.
And now he's
Well,
taken another
last
two
week's
this
not.
week.
Last week you don't count that because he came off, but he wasn't. He passed it.
Yeah, yeah. It wasn't two.
But I think because it was so late in the game, he didn't get back off because you have to have a 15 minutes mandatory when you come off. But
Stand down.
yeah, but
Okay, yeah.
nah, because otherwise, if he hadn't
Uh,
passed last
yeah, I
week,
don't know.
he
It's,
wouldn't
it's
have been
hard
playing.
when yeah,
That one was, I don't know, bro. Like, if you look at that, that
yeah,
was a bit of not really to do. That was just head on head clash, like an accident.
yeah, 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 yeah. That's one thing I've noticed in a lot of the league head clashes over the last couple of weeks is that a lot of them are head on head. So there's no sin binning. There's no
Yeah,
impact on the players that
compared to Union,
yeah. But it's different because the union you get done in that
bro, big time.
because it's on the attacker the defending player to get low.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, yeah. So it's quite interesting. NRL will have to shift.
Yeah,
Yeah, they'll have to shift eventually because yeah, there was a couple of plays during the week where they've head-on-head clashes. Nothing happens to the defending player, but the one that gets hit ends up having HIA and they're not playing for the rest of the game. So it's
yeah.
something they might need a review.
Well, man, well, I agree with.
Cool.
Well, I don't like if we talk about Union. See, I don't like that rule because I
Mm,
think head on head clashes are accidents, man. If you go in to make a tackle, you're not expecting
accidents. Yeah, yeah.
your head to hit theirs. So I kind of like the fact that league doesn't penalise the or either the ball carrier
Defending
or the
player.
because sometimes thing is, man, it was the ball carrier that initiated the contract. The contact.
Just an accident. Yeah.
You see that in Union when the guy's running with the ball,
Mm-hmm.
and he kind of puts his head down like that to bump someone off, and the defender
Yeah,
gets
yeah. That
penalised.
action coming in.
Yeah,
Mm.
I don't know, bro. It's a hard one
Yeah, yeah. So it is frustrating watching it in Union.
because
Yeah.
you don't want to
I think it's just.
you don't want to bring like more penalties in, and I understand it's up to the
Well, yeah. That's what I.
because it's when you think about high tackles, like,
The onus on the players to kind of.
yeah, when you think about high tackles, right, with the shoulder or the arms, the defender's got a responsibility not to touch the attacker's head, and that's
Mm.
standard. But I don't think like anyone means for their head to clash their head, and you can really tell when someone's leading with a headbutt, and you never see that. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a tough thing to bring a rule in to kind of try to stamp it out because you're always going to get accidents, and I don't think it's a big like concussion's a big deal,
Yeah, yeah.
but I don't think you.
Well, yeah. I think it takes away from the Union game. Like it frustrates me when I watch Union and that happens.
Oh, bro,
So
yeah, hold
yeah,
on, because it's so
I'm happier with the NRL's
it's a
approach.
big call to take someone off, or like
Mm.
for
Yeah,
penalise
yeah,
someone.
yeah. Huge impact on the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of Ponga, man, I don't know if it's like technique or anything. I mean, it's just having tough luck. And I actually think last year he played fullback and got those concussions. So this year he's in the front line. So man, we'll see, we'll see because you'd think
Yeah, exactly.
someone defending in the line, and it's only game two, and he's going to be out for a while too, a couple of weeks because that was a real concussion.
Yeah. So that's yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. So I think that'll be a bit of a concern, especially as Queenslanders.
Oh well, we got
Cool. Last game of the
oof.
round. Oh yeah, yeah. You got Reese now. Yeah. Last game of the round. Dragons 32-18 over the Gold Coast Titans. I went Titans on this.
Yeah, hot out.
They stuffed up.
Man, from what they showed in the first game,
um,
Titans, man, they look like $1 million, and
yeah,
then, man, fuck, they were kaya against the Dragons, man. They're just making
yeah,
silly
just
mistakes.
unorganized. Just yeah,
Now, I watched the whole game on that one, bro.
yeah, just
The Dragons were,
yeah, yeah. That was a good
yeah,
game.
bro, the Dragons were mean, but I think they got ball on the platter because the Titans were just giving away making easy mistakes and shit like that. So it's a tough one to judge the Dragons on
Yeah,
because they had that.
but
Oh,
even the Dragons' movement out the back.
yeah.
Yeah, they look good though. Like I didn't rate the Dragons kind of like or anything of the Dragons, but just seeing their ball movement out the back and some of those setups. I don't know if the Titans make them look better than they were, because man, that ball movement looks so fluid and just getting it through the players' hands,
Well, that's what I mean,
just
bro.
the way they moved across field.
It's hard to assess them, mate, because Titans were kaya, man. If they played a lot better in their first round. It's hard to judge a team because one, they had a
Yeah,
bye the first round, and then two, they come up against the Titans who just played crap. So, man, they definitely got the
yeah. Well, I was expecting big things from that Kieran Fafita combo,
yeah.
but they both didn't know each other last week.
Well, the first week, see that one of their tries, he put him through a big gap, and they scored from it. So I think that's
Yeah,
that's a
yeah,
good
they
thing
were
going for them, but it's
shifty.
just
Yeah,
on just their little errors, bro. In this game, they couldn't really give foreign a chance to do stuff with the ball. So
yeah.
hard to judge both teams, but you know, Dragons they look good, also, but I didn't have them in my eight.
Cool. Yeah, no, I didn't. I didn't rate the Dragons. They really they looked good, but yeah, again, early in the season and coming against that Titans side that looked like Titans of old was real hard to gauge.
Yeah, bro.
Cool. Um, cool. What stood out? Anything other than the games of the week? Anything stand out for you this week from the round, bro? Anything with the refs or the actual round
Oh,
itself?
bro, what about that big news, man, out Penrith, man, about those racist supporters, bro? That
Yeah,
that stood out for me because like I seen a lot of stuff online, like and majority of people are supporting. I mean, like I really want this shit out of the game, especially from the crowd and the supporters. But there's a certain there's a few people online as well, like saying that Latrell kind of puts himself out there, kind of paints himself as like a villain. How he talks up his team,
really?
and he didn't really,
Yeah, yeah.
because he had a comment
What?
pre-game.
So that gives people open.
Yeah, leaves yourself open for this kind of carry on. Which nah, bro. Like you can talk like
Yeah,
in boxing.
exactly,
You see boxers, UFC fighters talk trash. You don't see
yeah,
anyone else fucking be racist to them. Like you can talk up your team,
exactly.
talk down the other
If
team as much
anything,
as
you
you
can
want.
give it back to them about the way they played, or yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah, exactly. Nothing about the person's
that's
character, but
right,
yeah,
bro.
everything about the way they play, or if he's got a big mouth or whatever. But yeah, as
Exactly.
soon as
But
it's a
no
character,
one
it's
should
yeah,
ever be able to go to work and expect racial abuse from anyone. It doesn't matter what you do. Like, and I don't think what he says.
yeah. Especially to try and flip it like that and say it's something because he's racking it up or something.
Yeah,
Wow.
and you know what because it's not so much the racial thing because everyone agree, gotta stamp that out. But man, I just want to make a little comment on like
Mm.
just like Apoliki Australian stars in sport, like living over here, man. To be honest with you, bro, if anyone who's brash and like talks themselves up, man, automatically get painted like get bad press, bad media about them. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, yeah.
well, that's what I think in my view.
Oh, so similar here, like tall poppy. You can't
Yeah, bro.
yeah, you can't
Like,
kind of call yourself as doing well over
but
there.
if you think
Okay.
about like,
Probably too many Kiwis over there now.
but if you think about what
All
Latrell
the
says, it's not
Kiwis,
even trash. Like,
tall poppy syndrome.
he was saying, he made a comment like after Penrith lost the opening game to the Bronx, is like, oh, there's a few cracks in the windscreen. We can capitalize on that. I don't know if it's a direct quote, but something along those lines. Man, that's not trash talk, bro. Like compared to compared
Yeah,
compared to
I
American
don't.
sports. And then the media over here was like, oh,
Yeah, exactly. Like really, like yeah.
yeah, look at him. He's talking them up, blah, blah, blah. He's talking shit about the Panthers and like, bro, these guys will pounce on anything. And I know, I just think, man, anyone, people of color, like, if you're a bit confident, and that's what I think, look at it, it's confidence in themselves, and you want to talk yourself up,
Mm.
bro, you almost get branded like, oh, this guy's talking shit, talking smack. It's not smack, bro. Like,
Who's this guy think he is? Yeah, yeah.
yeah, man. Compared to the NBA, compared to NFL stars in America,
Mm.
man, that's nothing. That's not even smack. And I like Latrell being confident. You know what I mean? I like him talking and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this. I hope it doesn't. He doesn't go back into a shell. Like, I want.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. It's just
Yeah, bro. Because you know what, like
mm.
when you like see these stars like get interviewed and that, man. It's to me, fuck. I hate seeing the old. Oh yeah, full credit to the boys. You know they did well. It's this fucking same old. You know, oh, and Latrell, bro, he's entertaining, man. You know, you need these characters, in the game.
Yeah, yeah. Even at Okari,
Yeah,
like a lot of those characters, yeah, just real entertaining and just yeah. The last thing you'd want is those guys to just go into the show
yeah,
and be timid and yeah, just back to the same
yeah.
rubbish
And you know what?
interviews.
To
Like
be honest
yeah,
with you, bro,
good
the
game, but
Australia
yeah,
landscape, they don't like that, bro. They don't like. They don't like Islanders. Jerome Lowell, he gets the same thing. They don't like people of color
oh
speaking
yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Like, you boy, who are you,
Especially everyone
boy?
making a
Say it
big
in your
deal, like oh, he's
face.
such a grub. Like yeah, like
That's
wow.
what it feels like.
Especially when you had guys, like yeah, it pretty much is like oh, getting your place, kid, and you can't speak like that.
Yeah, that's what I mean, bro. Like,
Yeah, interesting, especially from your view from over there, like
Yeah,
seeing that
like it's a good
here more
time. It's a
than
good time now.
we would see it here. Yeah,
It's a good time now for athletes in general, because
yeah,
so many platforms for athletes to control their outlook, in the media, their
yeah.
narrative,
Control the
how they
narrative,
want to
eh?
paint
Yeah, yeah,
themselves. And like
yeah.
if media can't control it, or people can't control that, man, they jump on them, bro. They just like start dogging them.
Mm.
It's almost like,
So I think, hey, guys like Artie, I think it's getting training like that to be like a lot of these players need that kind of training
yeah,
like
bro.
Artie to really know
But it's almost like,
like what you're bringing, like your brand, and
yeah, exactly. It's almost like athletes, like Australia and New Zealand have basically similar culture, right? And it's almost like the superstars
mm,
has to be humble and know your role
yeah.
and say the same shit. You know what I mean? But if you're someone of color and you want to say,
Because of the little Palangis looking up to them, it's like, oh, I don't want my kid looking up to you, and
yeah,
you
that's what I
talk
mean,
like
bro.
that. It's
But
like,
it's not even.
your kid can look up to someone
It's
else.
not even.
Your kid's
Yeah,
gonna go
bro.
look up to some Palangi because
Exactly. But it's not even negative stuff that athletes will talk these days.
no,
It's just
yeah,
confidence, bro. It's just breeding confidence and being able to say whatever you want and back it up. So I don't know, bro. That's my 5 cents about Latrell and
nah, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, cool. Yeah, yeah, I was really encouraged. Like, I was hard to watch, but Jason Demetrio when he came out in the press conference, and you could see he was just annoyed by the whole thing of it. Eh? It was good. Yeah, just seeing his just rawness, the way he spoke about it.
yeah.
It was good to see a coach like that.
And I think it was just one of those
All right.
ones. Angry person in the crowd can't handle.
Yeah, I heard it was a Roosters dude. I saw Trent
That's,
Robinson
that's
came out.
what that's
Apparently, the
what I
kid
heard, bro.
was wearing a Roosters jersey.
Yeah, yeah. He came out and apologized, eh?
It's kind of like, mate, you're not even at the right game, buddy. All right. So look here. So, oh, I'm not sure if we'll. Ah, yeah, yeah, let's do this. I wanted to do this little this first 15, 13 of the round, based on how everyone went. So we'll go from 1 to 13 and just discuss who your preferred 13 based on this week's
Like
performances
team
were.
of the round, bro.
So we'll start at fullback. Who stood out as yeah, yeah, who stood out as your fullback for this round? A lot of good fullbacks running around this week.
Yeah, probably the off the top of my head,
Tu Kotora.
the two standouts um, was how many so was it from the Dolphins
Tabua, yep.
and
Hmm.
Reese Walsh. I was just trying to think of the other games.
Yeah, yeah.
I think those two big standouts, bro. And if you think about the Broncos tries, I think he had a hand in like three of them, bro. So for me, probably Walsh, fullback of the round.
Good call. Yeah, yeah. I was thinking Tabuai as well, just his ability to get under that ball. Like I was always looking forward to him being something at North Queensland. But yeah, just seeing him running around for the Dolphins for the last couple of
He
weeks,
had a solid game, mate.
I'm wishing him all the best. So yeah, I'd probably go with yeah. Your wingers for the round. Who would be your two wingers?
Um, oh, good call. Whoa, wingers. Uh, what's that? Carraz from is it Carraz from the Doggies? Um,
Yeah, yeah, the doggies. Yeah,
he
yeah.
scored a couple of tries, bro, and man, his carries were awesome, man. I'd have him in there. I was trying to think, man, and from that Broncos Cowboys game, what's his name? The Islander on the wing there, bro. Not Kyle Felt, but the other one, Murray Tuilangi. He was strong.
Taulangi for Cowboys.
Yeah, but
Yeah, yeah,
coming
he
from
stole the day.
yeah, I don't know, bro. Not really one stand out. Like, if maybe Dom Young from the Knights, he was solid, man. He only because of the Knights,
Yeah,
man. That was a good kind of where they were losing so many players, bro. That was a good win.
gutsy one, eh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but not really big standouts for me. Also, Carraz and Dom Young, if I was gonna pick two.
nice. Your centres, who stood out in the round for your centres?
Um, oh, bro, straight away, maybe Herbie Farnworth for one, definitely.
Yeah, yeah,
Try
Farnworth.
not to try not to show my bias, hey, bro, but man, he had a mean game. He had a mean game. Um,
Yeah.
who else? Dolphins back. Uh, oh, that and the guy from the doggies. He scored a try. I'm trying to think of his name. Yeah, the doggies centre.
Averillo.
Avarillo.
Averillo?
He was solid, bro. Because that was such a good game from them, man. I would pick him as the other centre. Him
Nice.
and Tango. Tango was solid, bro. But yeah, Henry Farnworth
Ah,
and
yeah,
Avarillo,
Zatango. Yeah, yeah.
if you ask me.
Mm. Yeah, I'd throw Lomax in there. Actually, I kind of like
Oh,
the
yeah,
way he's been
the Dragons.
picked up again. He's one of those players. He's real solid on D as well. Just a good centre, eh?
Bro, he can make things happen, eh?
Cool. Your house. Yeah. That's the thing. He's quite an elusive, and quite strong. Eh? He's
Yeah,
just
bro.
one of those Malor kind of players too.
Uh,
Your house for the weekend.
okay, like, Burden would probably be my six. Because he was quite instrumental in leading the doggies. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Matt Burden and probably Trindle, nah, halfback of the round.
Trindle.
Yeah,
Nice. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it was a good game. That one. That was a quite a good turnout. Arm wrestle between Trindle and Mitchell Moses too. So that
yeah,
was
bro.
yeah, good matchup pairing there. Your 13, your lock. Yeah, I know who you're gonna say, but yeah, is there anyone else?
Well, yeah, bro, because he kind of, and he's probably more consistent, just picking up from where he left off. But yeah, Carrigan for me, man, because just how integral he is to that team, and the biggest difference with the Broncos is because we mentioned like their players on attack, but you're talking about their defense, keeping these quality teams to 12 and under. This guy's got a big role to do with that, eh, Carrigan? So he'll be my
Yeah,
13. Man, him and Tomalolo, I think Tomalolo probably had a better game, eh? Like individually, like just his hit ups, man, was killing us.
yeah, carrying so much, I think.
Yeah, bro, it's
Yeah.
just like 15, 20 meters a hit.
Yeah, I think for 13.
I put those two in there.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was expecting more to come off the back of his runs. I've been impressed with Hopgood. He's standing
Yeah,
in for
bro,
Parramatta at the moment for Sean Lane, but
that's it.
man, when he comes back, it's going to be real. Like Sean Lane ripped up last year, whereas Hopgood's just been, just a
Bro, his
workhorse.
just
Like
just his numbers, yeah, man. Like,
three hit ups in a set. Man.
but just I'm trying to like, because if you pick the team of the round, you you kind of want to reward the winning teams. So so he'll be a special mention. Hopgood, round one, bro. I think he smashed it on the
Mm.
fantasy old Hopgood. But Knights, yeah, yeah, Carrigan for me,
Yeah,
bro. If you
fantasy.
think about the winning teams, will be my 13.
Nice. And your edges, couple of edge players stood out for you.
Oh, mate, who we got? Um, Kofusi for one.
Yeah.
Just Like I think the first two games, like probably like meter wise and amount of tackles, probably doesn't do as much as other players, but just his impact, bro. Like the tackles he was
Yeah,
pulling
his
off,
impact, eh?
yeah, and you can just see the leadership that he brings to that team. And I'm gonna go for was he playing? I think he was 13, but I'll put him on the edge. For the Dragons, I think he was playing 13, but I'll put him on the edge for the team of the round because he had a big game. Oh man, I'm bad with the names.
Jack Bird.
Jack Bird. Jack Bird.
Jack Bird.
He was
Yeah, yeah.
instrumental with the Dragons on
Yeah, he was good seeing him like yeah, just passing in there.
yeah.
He's moved around a few positions, but seeing him there at lock has been good.
Yeah, bro. I don't think that's his position as well. Yeah, he's filled out a bit, eh? So, but he's always had the size.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
just what he can do with the ball, man. He'll be dangerous. I'm just
yeah.
trying to look at the other
Just
games.
a small ball player, eh? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Um.
Yeah, I think the other lock that probably stood out, you mentioned it before, just Kickout's performance.
mm,
Just as performance and defense, especially in that game. I think it
yeah,
was
bro.
good to see
And even
Kickout.
even the also on the
Yeah,
other side there,
getting mentioned again.
Faitala Mariner, special mention, bro. He was solid, man.
Oh, yeah, he's been
He
yeah,
was solid in that game, and
yeah,
he's actually the captain, eh?
yeah. He's been a really good performer recently. Yeah,
Mm.
last few weeks.
Yeah, bro.
Nice.
So
And your middles.
oh, we got hooker, bro. Who's the hooker of the round? Bro, you know who I like coming off the bench? Yeah, I'm gonna put him on there, bro. It's Sonny Luke from the Panthers, eh?
Sonny, yeah.
He looks mean, eh? Coming off the bench.
Yeah, he looked real good once he came on for Kenny. Yeah. Um. Yeah. I don't know. I prefer seeing him than Mitch Kenny, but maybe they want to use him as impact.
Big
But
difference when he comes on,
yeah,
just on their
he's
attack. Um, but
yeah.
maybe I just wanted to mention him, but I'll probably go with um, what's his name?
Money.
Money, Red Money. Yeah. Um, bro,
Free
he
money.
was
Yeah.
instrumental in that doggies.
Especially up against Harry Grant.
Yeah,
He really stood up. Especially, that's a Queensland battle right there for the fourth
yeah,
holders.
bro. Just his organisation, and man, he pulled off some a really good 40-20 at the right time as well, man. So I'll probably give him the nod at hookers.
Oh yeah, nice.
Um,
Yeah, and next to him, your two props, your two starting props.
oh, how can you get past Payne Haas, mate? Haas, he's been bro, he's putting some good numbers up there, man. Like as usual, leading the way for the Bronx. So I'll give him one position on a prop and. Roosters, man. So the Roosters Warriors game, it's hard to pick any players from the Roosters, but I don't know. I'd have to go with Claremont was solid in that night's game. He had to play big minutes too, man.
Mm, yeah,
I mean for the
yeah,
Tigers,
he's been impressive last few weeks. Yeah,
but they're coming. They come off a loss, so it's hard to pick him. You know what? I'll probably go with the Panthers prop, the Kiwi.
RCG.
Um,
Yeah, right. Regan Campbell Gillard.
yeah, no, Panthers. Um,
Oh, Panthers pro. Fisher
Fisher
Harris.
Harris, bro, because
James Fisher
yeah,
Harris.
bro, you'd have to say like for me, with the big difference they showed this week, just their speed and the defense and up front, their forwards kind of answer back. So he'd be him and Payne Haas be my props, man. Just the way that Panthers come back.
Nice. Good for 15. Nice 13 for the week. As a decent looking team on paper.
Mm.
All right, let's look ahead to this week. Few really good games coming up this week. Let's have a wrap and see what your tips look like. So first game this week, we've got Manly v the Eels. Manly just coming off a break,
Yeah.
off their bye. Well, what are you looking forward to in that game?
Fuck yeah. And their first round, Manly were mean. And with a fit turbo, bro, Manly are always mean, Um, where's that game at?
Oh yeah, yeah. It was interesting because Turbo, like as much as he's back, he didn't really have to have a huge hand. We didn't have to do too much Tommy stuff, so it
Yeah,
was
that's what I
good to
mean.
see
And
they've got a
that's
bit more balance in their
yeah,
team
bro, and that's probably the
in the
most
lineup.
the positive thing come out of there because he hasn't really been like setting the house on fire, but like the rest of the Manly team look mean. Um,
Yeah, yeah. Cola is awesome.
yeah, I don't know, like because of the Eels lost the last two,
Good game,
the
good matchup.
the Eels have lost their first two games. But where's this game at?
Mm.
Oh shucks, it's at 4 Points Park. I might have to go with because it's at the Manly home ground. I'll go with Manly on this one, bro. Eels to be 0-3. Sorry, Pete.
Ooh, very cool. Nice. All right. Another good one. Donald Jones Stadium, Newcastle Knights versus the Dolphins. And Dolphins going good guns.
Yeah,
Newcastle, no Ponga, no Brayley,
I think this is their
no Tyson Frizzell.
yeah, this is their first game out in the Newcastle as well. Even though it's down there, um, and look, bro, old Kiri Nikarima coming into the team as well, man. They don't lose too much after losing Marshall King. So, man, because of their roll on, I'm gonna go with Dolphins on this one, bro. Yeah,
Nice. Dolphins.
Dolphins were up another upset.
Ooh, classic Sydney clash Friday night. Sydney Roosters and South Sydney Rabbitohs. Allianz. What is it? Allianz Stadium. Allianz.
Alienaz. Um, bro, and Hargroves is back on this one, eh? Hargroves is back.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much
It's
without
going to be a good matchup.
they almost got their best team on here, man. The Roosters. Hard to pick, man.
Yeah, and you'd expect them to fire now, third week into the round.
Hard out. They got Radley back, so
Rabbits coming off a loss.
I'm gonna go
Yes, Radley.
because because the Bunnies have kind of had the wood on them, eh? The last few games. I'm gonna go with the Bunnies on this one. In a close one, Bunnies.
Nice. Interesting.
It's gonna be a cracker.
Cool. Saturday, first game up. Gold Coast Titans and the Melbourne Storm, both coming off losses.
Yeah, man. Storm. Oh, Storm still they got a few people out, but they still are pretty solid. They got Kamikatheka back and Welch with Harry Grant. So I'm gonna have to say because they
Yeah, yeah, they'll go for that.
after losing in the badly to the Doggies, they'll come back. Even though it's at the Titans' home ground, I'm gonna go with the Storm on this one.
Nice. North Queensland Cowboys and the Warriors.
Cowboys and the
Over in Queensland.
Warriors. Um, uh, got Cowboys in Townsville, man. They're tough, coming off a loss. And you know what, bro? 4:30 game up in Townsville. I think the Warriors, man, that's a bad time for them to play, man. It's Villa, man.
Yeah, that heat's been quite hot lately. Yeah, a lot of those
Yeah,
games. Yeah, I didn't realize that last week game. They had those 20-minute drink breaks. It must have been so warm.
yeah, bro. I was just looking at the team,
Of,
man. Old Nickel Clockstade's out, bro. Gonna have to adjust my fantasy team, man, mate. They got this new fella here, Tane Tawapiki, eh?
Tuapiki, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, he was okay. He played in one of those trial games.
oh, okay.
Interesting to see how he goes
Yeah.
at the top grade.
Man.
You look really good in those trial
Oh,
games.
yeah.
Yeah,
A good chance for him, mate, to show his ways. But just look at the team, bro. Look, man, that too
yeah,
many
especially on a dry track.
too many guns in the Cowboys, man. So I'm gonna go Cowboys with this one.
Mm, cool. Um, the late game on Saturday, Brisbane Broncos and St. George, both coming off good wins on the weekend. Highest scoring wins over the weekend as well, both teams.
Yeah, Suncorp Broncos at Suncorp, man. Man, that's Broncos for me, mate. No surprises there, bro. No surprises there. Pretty. And you know what, man? If we can keep healthy, man. Top four.
Mm. Canterbury Bulldogs and West Tigers. Yeah, Tigers coming off a pretty upsetting loss last week.
Yeah,
And Dogs looking
Belmore.
good in their win last week.
Doggies at Belmore, bro. I'll go with the doggies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nice.
Tigers been
And
disappointing, eh?
finishing up the round, yeah, yeah. Uh, what was it with the Tigers? With Benji in charge, you'd think they'd have a lot better attack, but just looks real clunky at the moment.
Yeah, big time, bro. Oh,
It's just their
that's like
yeah.
that's a question. That's the last.
I haven't been disappointed with their defense, but yeah, their attack just
Yeah,
doesn't look like there's a plan.
I don't know, bro. That's a big question for the last 10 years. What is it with the Tigers, man?
Yeah,
I don't know. I think they need to move on from Luke Brooks, bro. Like just it's just not happening, bro. And he's the center of their attack.
yeah,
You know,
yeah, and he's been there such a long time. They've invested, but
yeah, he hasn't made it to the finals, man.
yeah, it's just inconsistencies from that guy. Yeah, and it's a race between him and Johnson, I think. Oh, Johnson's been there once at least. Uh, and final game of the round, Canberra Raiders and the Cronulla Sharks. Sharks still no sign of Nico yet,
Yeah, man.
but Trindle's there.
My fantasy team needs him, bro. I think at at Canberra, um, and given the fact they lost, I'm gonna say the Raiders here, man. And you probably say it's a bit of an upset, but yeah, Raiders for me over the Sharks.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah, look,
Yeah, no major upsets there other than, well, I guess. Do we keep calling the Dolphins wins upsets like
yeah.
this
What
week?
did you go? You picking the Dolphins in that one?
Yeah. Well, yeah, after their last 2 weeks' performances and the personnel that Newcastle's going to be missing, it's hard to not look at the Dolphins and
Yeah,
expect them to take it now.
like
For a new team, it's quite surprising.
hard out, bro. Hard out, and I haven't backed them both games, so they're probably gonna lose after I back them. But it's just the Knights are losing too many players, man.
Yeah.
Well, I think that Sea Eagles one. That's a flip of a coin,
Mm.
Eagles. Who are you going for that one?
Yeah, that should be Manly. I'm going to get
Gonna go
Manly with that
Manly,
one.
yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah, like you were saying, it is a hard call being 2 losses for the Eels, so they really need to pull it together, for Brad. It'd be interesting, like how they do that because you can be desperate, but if the other team's just better,
Yeah, and like in this
um,
in this comp, like once you like get on a roll on, like 3 losses, 4 losses, that pressure starts adding up, eh? So
yeah,
I don't
exactly.
know because Manly
Becomes
played
that
so well in
monkey
that
on
first
your
game.
back. So.
I'm picking them. What about you, Roosters and Rabbitohs? That's a close one, eh?
Yeah, I'll go rabbits on that one. Yeah, it'll be interesting. Like I've got Victor Radley in my fantasy team, but yeah, yeah, they just not seem to be. They maybe they just seeing that difference in the having Wairera come through as an enforcer.
Yeah,
Like even with they looked a lot better with Manu back.
yeah.
But yeah, they still don't look like they're fully clicking.
Nah, it's the forward
Oh
lines
man,
gets
that Swali'i try that he nearly bombed.
greedy. Lucky he did that
Yeah,
late pass.
you see, what's his name? Yeah, you see Walker when he scored, and then he's like calling him out straight
Gave
after.
him a mouthful way. Yeah, I've seen Roger do a few of those
Yeah.
like that.
I
Bro, what about what about this
Whoa,
Warriors Cowboys game? Honestly, like who are you going for? You know you're going Cowboys, bro.
man.
Or you
Yeah,
going with the heart?
especially over there, like the weather, yeah, I've got to go. Yeah, I've got to go for my points. Yeah, I think the Warriors, like, I've seen enough to give me hope, but man, Johnson's just some of his they're still not hitting the mark. Like, it's
Yeah,
real frustrating to see the senior half and the team, still just a few little, just
Bart's moment.
real
Yeah,
basic, like, kicking for position and stuff. Yeah, just or even just as kicks and play, like,
yeah.
20 meters out from the line is just not good enough for someone of his
I
experience.
I haven't seen enough for
It's just
them.
giving the guys no chances to chase,
Yeah.
to work hard. Yeah.
Do you think they're capable of make the eight or?
With the forward pack, like that's the thing. So he's got every reason to be doing well. He's got enough time behind those kicks now. At the end of a set, Mitch Barnett and what's his name, getting real quick
Yeah.
ball. So I can't understand
Well,
why
Blake.
he's not putting that ball on the mark every time. Like even Fanua, they just getting really, Fanua every time he takes that last play, he's always on the front and he gets that real quick play. But yeah, it's just Johnson's got time and space. I don't. I just yeah. Unless that improves, it's real hard.
Yeah.
Real hard watching this guy being leading. Yeah,
You
it's
guys
the
gonna
same
get
ball mistakes from him.
you guys got Jazz Tevanga gonna possibly be on the reserve, so you probably gotta get a few more penalties added to the list. Nah, nah, but just on the
No
lineup, bro. Like,
bolos.
not even about home game, but like just look at the team sheet. Man, Cowboys are stacked, bro. I mean, it's a young
Mm.
backline. Um, yeah, it's a young backline, bro. Outside of Johnson
Well, yeah, yeah.
and Martin's been a bit quiet, eh?
Well, yeah, and I can see that Nana, yeah, nah, Nana even was quiet, so it'd be interesting there. They might just, get him back into the game.
I'm
But
surprised, like, because I
yeah,
liked old Volkman last year. Like, he'd be better run at six and maybe to Marty Martin at fullback. I don't know, but Martin's got to be in the game, bro. He's quality man. He's got his hands on the ball.
yeah, when he's got his hands on the ball, he had a few nice touches.
Mm.
Yeah, and that's why I was hopeful of that partnership. But yeah, I think Johnson needs to do more to if that's going to work. That partnership, he can't. Yeah, he shouldn't be on par with Martin. To my day.
That's the problem, bro. You don't want Johnson to do more.
Cool. Yeah. All right, Us, man.
Shot, bro.
Um, how's your fantasy going, mate? What happened this week? What happened to your fantasy?
Mate, yeah, bro. I had a couple of a few dud performances from some certain players who just had mud scores. That's the difference, bro. That's the difference. If you, you know what, you can carry like one or two, scoring the odd, under 20. But if you got like three or four, like, nah, man, that's not good enough. So I'll be making some changes. Stace the eats guy. How you thought? Oh, you're
Yeah,
at the top, bro, eh?
you confident against top mate, top dogs. Don't worry about my team, mate.
And,
So, that's what happens when you try and take Nico Hines and leave Nathan Cleary out there waiting.
bro, I had two crucial mistakes. I think in my top three out of my top four picks, I picked Nico Hines, and then I picked Peppenhausen, and I didn't do my homework. Didn't do my homework there, Peppenhausen.
You should come right at the end, the back end of the
Well,
season. See, you're planning for the back end of the seasons.
apparently they said it was round 14. I was like, hell no, what the hell? So It's crucial way because like I've got like three people missing because the buy is gonna be crucial, man.
Oh,
So I
yeah, especially every week's a buy, so that
yeah.
makes it even harder.
So I don't know, bro. I'm gonna have to make some serious decisions about Peppenhausen soon because I need some backup. Expect some trades, mate.
I'll give you Gutho, bro. I got Gutho here, mate. If you want him,
Really,
playing every week.
really. Okay, well, we'll think about that
Yeah,
one, mate.
bro. Yeah, I'll take Pappenhausen off your hands, bro.
Oh,
Yeah,
we'll have a look.
chuck for a trade.
We'll have a look. Shot. Thanks for having me
Sick
on, bro. Thanks for
use.
having me on, man.
Good. Thank you, man.
Um,
Yeah, we'll wrap up and see who's on next week, and if you're free again, bro, we'll go again.
yeah, no,
We'll get
bro.
a new
I'm just
guest on with
happy.
us as well.
I'm happy to revive the Usos show and probably if yeah,
Yeah, man.
just give us a yell, brother. But thanks for having me on.
Shard also.
Okay,
Thanks for listening to us, guys. That's us from WesWes Network 135 Footy Show. We out. Sharp. Check
my
use.
man.
I think